Welcome to the Gold Standard Radio Show. I'm Craig Goldenfarb, your host and the founder of Gold Law. We've been a personal injury law firm in West Palm Beach for 25 years. This is the show where we spotlight the individuals and organizations making a real impact in our communities. Those who embody excellence, integrity, compassion, and the gold standard in everything they do. Every week we'll sit down with game changers, difference makers, and unsung heroes who are shaping the future of Palm Beach County and beyond. Whether it's through advocacy, innovation, or service, these are the people setting the bar high and showing us what it truly means to lead with purpose. So sit back, get inspired, and let's dive into the stories that define the gold standard. Hey everyone, Craig Goldenfarb here with Gold Law. I'm here with Charlene Rothe, who runs a wonderful organization called Paws Be With You, which is a therapy dog organization. And I have had the honor of matching up with her and partnering with her in our community. And her dog, Negan, a beautiful dog who's here with us today in the studio, is just a wonderful therapy dog that I've gotten to know. And Negan is the official therapy dog of Gold Law. So, hi, Charlene. How are you this morning?
Hello. I'm wonderful. Thank you so much for having us.
Great. So, first of all, I have to ask, we co-hosted an event yesterday, the Green Acres Chili Cook-Off. How did that go?
It was absolutely amazing, and thank you so much for your support. I would like to say that Negan actually came in second place with his chili, so that's very exciting.
That is fantastic that Negan had his own chili at the Chili Cook-Off, and we're happy to support both your charity and the Green Acres Fire Department, Fire Rescue, with the Chili Cook-Off every year. So why don't you share with us and the audience who Paws Be With You is and what is your mission?
So our mission is to bring love and comfort to people when they need it the most through pet therapy. Negan he makes people smile immediately when they see him, and our mission is just to spread love and bring joy.
So what on earth inspired you to start an organization with a therapy dog like Negan?
Back in 2011, I was visiting my dad in the hospital in Philadelphia. He actually was a Philadelphia firefighter, and a therapy dog came into the room, and at the time he wasn't a firefighter, but he was in the hospital for another reason. And when this dog came into the room, he lit up, and I couldn't believe what it did to his entire body and his face. And I asked the lady, "What is this?" And she said, "He's a therapy dog." So from that minute, it was always my dream to do this, and it is now 2025, and we've been 2 years doing this, and Negan has over 700 visits. We started the organization, and it is my dream come true to be able to spread the love that one dog that I met did for my dad that day in the hospital.
Well, that inspiration also inspired me and inspired my law firm, and now Negan has become a beloved part of our family of over 80 employees at Gold Law. So can you tell us how it came to be that he became the official therapy dog of Gold Law?
It makes me so excited. You guys, because you're so amazing with the community, you participated in our bowling event, and I got to meet you, which was all about timing, because sometimes you don't come to every event you do because you do so many. And that weekend, I was so lucky that you were actually there. You got to meet Negan, and we got to chat, and I had an idea, and you had an idea, and then we ended up meeting, and we met at your office, and Negan came and did exactly what I thought he would do, made everyone happy, and now here we are. I am so excited to be a part of Gold Law and to make everyone happy.
Well, so are we, and it's kind of funny. I was thinking as an attorney, I'm like, but I didn't learn that in law school, that you were going to start a law firm and then have an official therapy dog of your law firm. That was the last thing on my mind, but I'm so glad it happened. So why don't you tell us how therapy dogs like Negan, for those who don't know a lot about therapy dogs, make an impact in a legal setting like mine, where maybe a parent has lost a child or someone has lost function or suffered some horrible trauma. How does a therapy dog help?
The minute that someone sees a therapy dog, and the fact that Negan is a golden retriever, he is so goofy, and there could be the biggest tragedy ever, but someone puts their hand out and starts to pet him, he immediately calms them down. I've seen him make people stop crying immediately just by petting him, and I tell them to breathe. So in your setting, there's a lot of stuff that could happen with a client, and the minute that they would see him, they could, as scary as it is, whatever they're going through, the minute they touch him, look at him, he looks at them back, it immediately calms them down, even if it's for 10 seconds that they're petting him.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, there's so many studies in science and neuroscience that shows that merely petting an animal, and especially an animal as warm as Negan, can really reduce your anxiety, reduce your interaction with your amygdala, which is your fear and flight in your brain. So there's actually a lot of neuroscience behind pet therapy. So I'm sure you know about all that stuff and how it works.
Yes, the minute it's again, science, the minute you pet a dog, it actually lowers your blood pressure.
That's amazing. So, coming to think of you've had so many visits with Negan over the years and so many experiences. Is there one that stands out for you, Charlene, that's just like amazing what you saw, what you witnessed?
We have had so many, and I actually have a list because I started making a list so I don't forget. But I want to talk about something that happened the other day, and it actually wasn't a visit. It was one of my neighbor's husbands saw Negan on the news. We were promoting the chili cook-off, and we were on the news on Thursday morning. My neighbor got me after I got done running, and she was waving her hands, and she said, "Were you and Negan on the news yesterday?" And I said, "Yes." She goes, "My husband, who is in the early stages of dementia, the last time we saw him, he's in the house a lot. It was probably about 9 months ago. He said, Negan's on the TV. Negan is on the TV." So she came in after he'd seen him on the TV, and she said, "Are you sure?" And he goes, "Yes, I just saw Negan and his mom." She told me that he can't remember anyone's name lately. He has no short-term memory. And the fact that she told me that he actually recognized Negan, it actually chokes me up, that through TV he saw him and remembered. And he was so excited. And the fact that he remembered the name of Negan, and it was unbelievable. And she was so happy. And it actually, we were both crying in my street just talking about this experience.
That's a tremendous story. As someone whose father right now is going through dementia, and I can imagine forgetting so many important things, if you see a smile on someone's face like that, that's going through such a trouble with their memory, it must just make your heart really warm, huh?
Exactly.
That's fantastic. So, in general, people know about therapy dogs, but what are the settings, like what are the places you bring Negan, just so people can get a feeling for the locations and type of places that you bring Negan?
So we go to hospitals, nursing homes, the VA, 3 fire departments. We go to high schools, elementary schools. We're going to start a reading program soon with children. And GOLDLAW.
That's right, my favorite organization, absolutely. So it really sounds like you've been expanding your impact on the community with all these types of organizations. And how many visits did you say Negan does?
So Negan, well, we do 9 visits a week and sometimes more, but it just depends. But 9 weekly. But right now he's got 700 visits underneath his collar. But get it under your belt, but under the collar.
That's great. So are you looking to expand in some way or have more dogs at some point, or is that kind of up in the air?
Eventually, we will have more dogs. We will be one day starting our own training program to have dogs officially Paws Be With You therapy dogs. And right now, Negan is the one and only, so he's the chief dog officer. But eventually one day, we are definitely hoping to have more.
So can I help pay his salary as chief dog officer? I'd be happy to. So
Yes.
Speaking of financial support, Charlene, tell us what is the best way that the audience and I can help you and help what you do?
PawsBeWithYou.com. If you go and check it out, and there's a bunch of pictures. You guys are up there. You can read our mission. You can read some experiences that we've done. But if you go to PawsBeWithYou.com, you can make a donation, and it would be amazing to keep us being able to do what we do every single week to help people.
Now, I know Negan's schedule is quite busy, but what if there's an audience listener out there who really would love to have Negan come to their organization? How do they do that?
So if they can contact me through pawsbewithyou.com. Also, he has a Facebook, and you can find him on Negan the Therapy Dog, and he also has a TikTok. So if you contact me through any of those, actually Paws Be With You has a Facebook page too. So if you contact me through any of those, we could figure it out.
Great. And what is Negan's handle on social media?
So it's Negan the Therapy Dog on Instagram, and Negan Jameson Rothe on Facebook.
And that's Rothe, Rothe, right?
Yes, and TikTok, Negan the Therapy Dog.
That's awesome. He's probably more of an influencer than I am, I would think. So congratulations on having your dog be a micro-influencer in Palm Beach County.
I love it.
So we're going to get him as famous as we can. You're listening to the Gold Standard Radio Show, where we highlight those making a real impact in our communities. At Gold Law, we believe justice isn't about just the courtroom. It's about standing up for what's right, holding the powerful accountable, and fighting for those who need it most. If you or a loved one has been injured due to negligence, you don't have to fight alone. Call Gold Law at 561-222-2222, because when it comes to justice, we set the gold standard. Remember, choose the twos. Choose Gold Law.
Craig, I just wanted to tell you exactly why we decided to do this. I was visiting my dad in the hospital in 2011, and a woman walked in with a Great Pyrenees, and I looked at him and I said, "What is this?" And the woman said, "He's a therapy dog." And I looked at my dad, and everything about him, he just like lit up, and he got up. He really didn't move a lot because he was in the hospital, and he got up and he leaned over to pet the dog, and he was so excited. So that minute I was like, I have to do this. I came home and I was on a mission, and this was back in 2011. But the day that I looked into doing all this, I got a phone call of what I needed to do. It was the same day I got the phone call that our first golden retriever, Sully, got cancer. So it kind of got put on the back burner of the therapy dog work. Then we got a second golden retriever. His name was Sawyer, and 9 years came and went. It's so crazy and I always wanted to do it, and I just never did anything with it. But the minute we got Negan, I was set. I was like, we were doing this therapy dog thing. And in a million years, I didn't think we would start an organization. I just wanted to do therapy dog work with him. So at 6 months old, we started his training, and Susan was his trainer, and we did the most amazing ever. It took us 2 years, it took us maybe a year and a half to do the training from start to finish. And he failed the first test, actually, which is funny. He failed the first therapy test, and everyone made fun of me, and he just wasn't ready yet. So then we took the class again, 5 more weeks, and after that second test, he passed. And now it's 2 full years we're doing therapy dog work, and it's just my dream come true, literally.
At Gold Law, we live by 6 core values: respect, integrity, innovation, compassion, success, and finally, the gold standard. Because good enough is never enough. These same core values are what drive the incredible leaders we feature as guests right here on the Gold Standard Radio Show. If you need a law firm that stands for excellence, fights for justice, and truly cares about you, give us a call at 561-222-2222. Because at Gold Law, we don't just represent cases, we represent people. So remember, choose the twos. Choose Gold Law. Hey everyone, Craig Goldenfarb here with Gold Law. I'm here with Charlene Rothe, who runs a wonderful organization called Paws Be With You, which is a therapy dog organization.
Craig, I do want to tell you about a couple stories with the fire department that really stand out and touched my heart that I really want to share. So we got connected with the Green Acres Fire Department because a friend of ours connected us. The Chief Fuller, was looking for a therapy dog to come visit, and nobody was returning his phone calls, and a friend of ours connected us and knew that we were doing this. Being that my dad was a Philadelphia firefighter and it's so close to my heart, the leading cause of death for firefighters is suicide. And he wanted Negan to come in there and just kind of spend time with the guys and girls and just make, light of any situation. So we got connected. It's been amazing. And it's almost 2 full years. Actually, this month is 2 years that we've been going there. I've 2 stories from the fire department that stand out that I wanted to talk about. One is that day that we first went to the fire department and met the guys and the girls. We were all sitting around a table chatting, and everyone's talking about Negan, but other things people were talking about too. This one man who has been working there, maybe I want to say at least 10 years, maybe 15. He starts talking about his dogs and his experiences with dogs while he's petting Negan, and it was great. So we left there. The chief hugs me and he says, "I'm so excited for this." He goes, "You have no idea." The chief has been there, I think, 10 years. This man they haven't really been able to talk a lot. So the fact that Negan was there, he was talking and talking and talking. So that just what he brings out of people, it just makes people feel comfortable just to talk. And he was so amazed at just that. So a second story that stands out is we were on our way to a hospital, and I got a call from one of the chiefs, one of the battalion chiefs. And because our visits are on Thursday, it was a Friday, and he said, "Can you get here?" And I said, "I need 20 minutes. I can be there." So they had a traumatic thing that happened that morning with one of the firefighters, and just a horrible call. It involved a baby, and he just wanted me there as fast as possible. Because normally when we do our visits, we're there, we hang out, we talk, but he wanted me there specifically for this guy. So the minute we walk in, they bring me right back to the back area where all the trucks are, because that's where he was, and he was alone. And he walks me up to him, and I've become friendly with him. So he hugged me. He pets Negan. The chief leaves because he wanted us to have our own little time, because he feels like he wouldn't talk really in front of the chief. So he asked me how I'm doing. And now I know what happened that morning, but I'm not saying anything. And I said, "I'm great." But all of a sudden, he's like, "Good." He leans down, starts petting Negan, hugs him, and starts crying, and then starts just giving just thanks to him. And he was just saying things like, why did that have to happen? And he was just giving all of his feelings of what happened that morning, because he's a dad and he probably would have done things differently. And so it was very intense, and I'm very emotional. I'm choked up right now, but the fact that he was able to do what he did and hug Negan, and then he was fine. He got up, and Negan was just like, with that goofy smile. Negan gets up. We walk into where everyone was. There was probably about 15 people in their kitchen area. It's the most popular place in a fire department. And then we all just sat there and talked for 20 more minutes. And the guy hugged me when we left, and he was just so grateful, and it was amazing. And then last year on Christmas Day, we went to a hospital, and that's my tradition now, because we went this year too on Christmas. I want to go every year on Christmas Day. And we were walking through the hospital. We did our visits to the regular people we see, and they took us in ICU. And normally we don't go into ICU unless they bring us. So we walk into one of the rooms because the mom and a daughter were in there, and they wanted Negan to come in. So they invited us in. Her father and her husband, he was on life support, and they were just hugging him and petting him, and she was talking to her husband, and she was like, "Bob, a golden retriever's in the room. Oh, your favorite dog." And she's just going back and forth talking. Now, he's on life support. None of us know if they can actually hear, but it was constant talk. And here's Negan just, and the daughter is just petting him, and Negan has the biggest smile on his face, not even understanding how intense the situation is. The wife she starts crying, but tears of joy, and she was so happy, walks over to the husband, grabs his hand. He's sitting there, and I mean, it was very, the life support, that sound. Then all of a sudden they look at me after we were done, and she goes, "Merry Christmas." And I was like, oh my God, in my head, I'm like, how can you say Merry Christmas when your husband is about to pass away, and her father? And, but they looked at me and they said, "Merry Christmas, you just made our day." And I looked at them and I said, "Merry Christmas." And I hugged the both of them. I didn't even know them. I don't know their names. And they just thanked me just for Negan. So, I mean, those are just some of the stories that I have.
You're tuned in to the Gold Standard Radio Show, where we celebrate those who make our neighborhoods stronger. At Gold Law, we're not just experienced attorneys. We're part of this community. From supporting local charities to fighting for justice, we believe in making a difference where it matters most. Do you know someone who deserves the spotlight for their community impact? So send us their story. And remember, if you need a legal team that fights for you like family, call Gold Law at 561-222-2222, because justice starts with people who care. So remember, choose the twos, choose Gold Law.
Hello and welcome today. I would like to introduce you to Vets Place, a dedicated veteran service organization founded by myself, Thomas Coles Reyes, located in West Palm Beach, Florida. At Vets Place, our mission is to support our veterans and their families through various essential services. We offer programs that include housing assistance, employment support, mental health counseling, and community outreach. Our goal is to help veterans transition successfully back into civilian life and ensure that they have the resources they need. You can find us at 401 North Rosemary Avenue, West Palm Beach, Florida, 33401. For any inquiries, feel free to call us at area code 561-206-0599. Our doors are open from Monday to Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., ready to assist those who have served our country. One of the highlights of Vets Place is our Veteran Peer Support Program, where veterans can connect with others who understand their experiences. We also host regular community events and workshops designed to empower veterans and foster a sense of belonging. We invite you to support our mission through volunteerism, mentorship, sponsorships, and donations. Every contribution helps us to provide vital services to our veterans. You can find us and more information at our website, www.vetsplace.org. And again, if you'd like to contact us for any information or just to connect, our number again is area code 561-206-0599. And again, our website is www.vetsplace.org. Thank you for tuning in, and remember, Vets Place is committed to serving those who have served.
Every day, 1,500 children in Palm Beach County wake up in foster care through no fault of their own. They have been torn from everything they know, facing fear, uncertainty, and unimaginable hardships. Many have suffered neglect, abandonment, or abuse, and now they must navigate a complex system that often falls short of meeting their needs. But they're not alone. That's where Speak Up for Kids steps in. We provide life-changing advocacy, life skills training, and essential resources to help these children heal, grow, and thrive. From educational support to everyday necessities, we bridge the gaps so they can have a future filled with possibilities. But we cannot do it alone. These children need champions, someone to stand in their corner, fight with them, and remind them they are valued and not forgotten. Will you be that champion? Visit www.speakupforkidspbc.org today and take action. Your support, whether through donating, volunteering, or simply sharing our mission, makes all the difference. Together, we can bring hope, stability, and a future to children who need it most. Don't wait. Take action now. Visit www.speakupforkidspbc.org and be the hero they deserve.
That's a wrap on another episode of the Gold Standard Radio Show. A huge thank you to our guests for sharing their incredible journey and for being a true beacon of excellence in our community. At Gold Law, we believe that when we lift others up, we all rise together. If you know someone in our community making a difference, someone who lives and breathes the gold standard, we want to hear about them. So please reach out, connect with us on social media, and let's continue celebrating the people who are shaping a brighter, stronger future for all of us in Palm Beach County. Until next time, I'm Craig Goldenfarb. So stay inspired, stay committed, and keep raising the gold standard.